true beauty comes from within, a phrase overused and exploited by romance storytellers for centuries. But in the eyes of men and women of culture, true beauty comes from both within and without. It is the inner and outer beauty, the very definition of waifu. Welcome to Fire Emblem 3 Houses Waifu Battle Royale. After a long hiatus, we are back with our next matchup. The long-awaited battle between the spoiled bringer of death, Hilda, versus the small, introverted archer, Bernadetta. Will Hilda charm her way to victory without lifting a finger? Or will Bernadetta snipe my heart without ever leaving her room? Fight! Hilda is the daughter of a noble from the Leicester Alliance. Pampered and spoiled, but almost not in a bratty way. She's a bit lazy, likes to have other people do things for her. She has a close relationship with her brother, who tends to pamper her from time to time as well. She tries to get others to do work for her, and is therefore cunning, even tries to sit out of battles. Loves all things cute and beautiful, and is very confident in her own looks. She's generally friendly to most everybody she meets, although not afraid to speak her mind. Perhaps flirtatious, even. Pros. Everything about Hilda is beautiful. Her eyes, hair, outfit, personality, definitely one of my favorite designs, which is odd since I usually don't like the twin tail look. But I can't deny that she's beautiful. Gorgeous. Both English and Japanese voice actors do an excellent job, with the English giving her a valley girl type personality and the Japanese going for a flirty, idol moe attitude. There's a word for it that I can't think of off the top of my head, but again, both do a good job at the character they're going for. Using her charms to persuade others, particularly men, to do things for her might come off as manipulative, but I find it funny and endearing how cunning and quick-witted she is to persuade others to help her. After getting their help, she then, quote, lavishes them with praise to make it even, at least in her own way. However, she usually doesn't ask people to help. Rather, she tries to get them to ask her. Kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but I appreciate her effort. She's actually quite kind and insightful, willing to help out others and make them feel part of the group. I guess she's kind of bubbly in that way, without being an airhead. Despite being a spoiled child growing up, and even now, constantly looking for ways to get others to do stuff for her, she will do things herself if needs be, especially if things go sour. In that way, she's not completely lazy. She'd just rather have someone else do it. She cares deeply about enjoying life and living it the way she wants, hence why she doesn't like the idea of dying on the battlefield. She also admires those who choose to live their own way. As for the battlefield, Hilda is an axe-wielding offensive juggernaut, practically a one-woman army of death. She crits, she's quick, and she can take a hit. Kind of. She has her flaws, of course, weak against magic, etc., but her strengths more than make up for them if used correctly. Cons. However, putting her around magic is a bad move, as spells will easily wreck her cute rampage. Best take care of the mages in one go, or avoid them completely and let the more magically inclined take care of it. Hilda's arguably manipulative and cunning nature might be a negative, especially to those who have experienced that behavior from others. Still, I don't think she means any ill intent, and she tries not to force people into doing her favors, but I can easily see someone being uncomfortable with her behavior. Her lazy attitude and always begging Byleth to let someone else fight in her place comes off as a bit annoying at times, I'll admit. When I first saw Hilda and read about her personality, I was a little lukewarm on her. Few things get more annoying than listening to a spoiled brat whine about working or manipulating others to do work for them, but I did think her design was cute, so I gave her a shot. Shockingly, my first impressions were off. Sure, she does try to persuade people in doing things for her, but only if they want to help her. She doesn't like to force people or act like a spoiled brat when she doesn't get her way. Actually, Hilda is quite capable of handling herself. She'd just rather have someone else do it. I can't believe he asked me of all people to go on this mission. Right in the middle of my me time, too. Greetings, Hilda. Nothing to report. Are you helping the professor clear out the bandits in the forest? Unfortunately, yes. You know, Gatekeeper, You're pretty big and strong, way stronger than a maiden like me could ever be. You know, you must be super popular with everyone at the academy too. In fact, I bet you would take first place in a poll of all the heroes in Folan, if a poll like that existed. That seems oddly specific, but thank you. I take my job here seriously. Yep, you sure do. Someone as capable and hardworking as you would surely do better than me out on the battlefield. Oh, I have an idea. What if you defeat those nasty bandits with the professor instead of me? You'd do a way better job than I ever could. Plus, it would give you something to report. Something to report? Away from my post? Don't worry, I'll get someone to, I'll watch the gate for you. Everything will be fine. So, how about becoming the hero you were born to be? The hero I was born to be. You're right. It's time I lived up to my true potential. On this day, I take my first step towards becoming a hero of legend that rivals the greatest of Folan. No longer shall I have nothing to report. Rather, the people of Folan will share reports of my death-defying feats as I unite Folan under the Church of Seros and bring a new era of peace and prosperity to this blessed land. Take it easy, you're just fighting some smelly bandits. So, will you do it for me? Hilda, leave the gatekeeper alone and get over here. Ah, crud. Coming! Sorry, gatekeeper. Maybe you can help me out some other time. Oh, no worries. I'll just stay here. Bye! Professor, wait up! Good luck! Guess there really isn't anything to report. Of course, I don't blame others for being put off by her laziness. I can't imagine many people want to be manipulated, unless they're into that sort of thing. But for me, Hilda proved to be more than a lazy noble. She's sweet, friendly, while also being cunning and strong. Coupled with her cute looks, you have a strong contender for best waifu. But were Hilda's sweet words persuasive enough to ignore the purple-haired recluse of the academy, Bernadetta? The tiny, noble girl forced to join the academy by her father. Bernadetta is timid, shy, and easily startled, afraid of making others mad or upset. She also suffers from a persecution complex, in that she believes others around her are trying to secretly harm or undermine her in some way. Quick to beat herself up for the tiniest mistakes, but also tries to motivate herself to be better. She prefers spending time holed up in her room where she can feel comfortable, occupied with her many hobbies. She was raised, or depending on how you look at it, tortured, by her father to behave and become the perfect little wife, which explains her trust issues and fear of people. Pros. Bernadetta's design screams shy little girl who stays in her room all day. Her hair is messy, her outfit is basically a hoodie version of the student uniform, and the way she holds herself is evident of her timid behavior. I like how well they illustrate that in her design without going over the top. And that way, she's pretty cute. For most introverts, I think she's relatable in her attitude and goals. She wants to make new friends, but it's also tough leaving her comfort zone, basically her room. Breaking past that is emotionally draining for her, but she still tries in her own way to improve. I'm sure some of us have experienced that sort of breaking out of your comfort zone at least once in our lives. I love her passion for hobbies. As someone who has a lot of hobbies myself, I can relate to her having many dorky interests. Her support conversations are always hilarious, mostly because of her persecution complex. It also brings out a sillier side to the person she's talking to, even with the most serious of characters. In that way, Bernadetta helps us see a new side of most characters she talks to. Once you get past her social anxiety, Bernadetta is a fun person to be around. Funny, kind, and sweet, she has a personality that I like. In combat, her strong suit is archery, and thanks to moderately good speed and dexterity, she fills that role well enough, albeit not as well as other units. Still, she was clutch when I really needed it, some of the times. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with her voice. The Japanese voice is really cute and innocent, portraying her shy yet quirky personality well. Some of the noises she makes are so chaotic and wild, you just can't help but laugh. That said, I might like the English voice actress more. She has great delivery no matter what Bernadetta is feeling, expressing fear, joy, shyness, and kindness believably and distinctly, even if the chaotic sounds aren't quite carried over from the Japanese dub. Cons. Her Japanese voice, however, sounds like she's been sucking on the helium a little too long. Hearing her scream over and over again is a little grating on the ears. I just don't find the shrill pitch very pleasant, even though her screams are funny. It's like her voice crosses the fine line between cute high pitch and otherworldly. Of course, I'm sure there are those who find her Japanese voice endearing, and to be fair, it does fit her quirky personality well. At the very least, it makes her stand out from the rest of the cast. Along with that, I can see many finding her character annoying and stereotypical. Her interactions with other students usually involve her expecting them to get mad or attack. For some, that might be endearing. For others, predictable and overdone. Bernadetta's stat growth can be lackluster if you're unlucky. And since her defense and luck are abysmal, she can't take a hit, which I suppose is par for the course for most archers. That said, she did fine in my first couple playthroughs with her, so perhaps your results might vary. Surprisingly, Bernadetta might be the most relatable character in the Three Houses cast for some Fire Emblem fans, including myself. Wanting to stay home by yourself, engrossed in your hobbies, isolated from the outside world, she would be considered a hero during the current pandemic. But despite her hikikomori ways, Bernadetta wants to be better, more outgoing, and make new friends, to the point where she beats herself up for making mistakes. While she can be a little hard on herself, I admire her willingness to change the parts of herself she doesn't like. Her growth is admirable, even in small increments. You did good today, Bernie. Went to class, said hi to the foreign exchange student, made eye contact with that hot guy, fired a couple arrows for training, and successfully avoided Mr. Scary Eyes. Whew! And now it's time to reward yourself. Oh no, someone's at the door! What if it's someone who wants my cake? Go away! No one's home right now!
Bernadetta, it's me. Would you please open the door?
Professor? Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. And no, it's not because I'm secretly eating cake.
Don't make me get Ingrid.
What? No need for that. What can I do for you?
Well, I found this book in the classroom after class today, and I thought it might be yours.
Nice going, Bernie. You just had to mess up somehow. Although, I don't remember taking a book with me today. Okay, Professor, you can come in. Here you go. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm really not interested in church conspiracy books. Why did you think this was mine? Oh, that one's mine. This is the one I found near your seat. Give it to me right now, please! Ah, so it was yours. Glad we figured that out. Did you read it? Not really, just skimmed through the pages, saw some pictures. Very nicely done. Excuse me? Forget you saw any of this! Otherwise, I'll tell Lady Rhea about your conspiracy books. And just like that, I forgot why I even came in here. I better get back to teaching the students. Enjoy your cake. Whew, that was a close one, Bernie. Is Bernadetta's way of the tiny hikikomori enough to smother me in her adorableness? Or does Hilda's charming and persuasive tongue prove too powerful to ignore? The winner is... Hilda! 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 What a battle to start off the new batch. Woo! Both of these waifus are honest with who they are and what they like. I admire that ability. However, while Bernadetta is much more relatable to me as a person, I more or less knew what I was going to get with her, except for her random noises. Hilda, on the other hand, defied my expectations of the snotty brat stereotype. Her sweet and caring side, coupled with her cunning laziness, made me appreciate her more as a person. She's not trying to use people, more like compel them to do favors for her. Perhaps that is still a little iffy, but she tries to make sure the person helping her feels appreciated, at the very least. Along with her physical might that outclasses Bernadetta, how could I say no to her persuasive charms and beauty? But wouldn't you have more fun hanging out with Bernadetta? See, I don't know about that. While Bernadetta is more likely to share some of my own interests, both seem like great company to spend a meal together or just hang out, and neither would judge me for my own passions. I guess I went with the person who surprised me and grew on me over time. Plus, Hilda is, how do I put this, much more mature than Bernadetta in some aspects, namely physical. Don't judge me. Hilda moves on to the next round, but don't worry, Bernadetta fans, it's possible for her to make a comeback in the loser bracket. Feel free to let me know who you thought should have won in the comments below. Next time on Waifu Battle Royale, the voluptuous JoJo reference Dorothea versus the goth assassin knight Shamir. Who will claim victory? Find out next time. Be sure to share these videos with your friends and let me know what you think of this matchup. Goodbye, you good people. Professor, why did you ask me of all people to come with you? There are plenty of more capable students than me who are willing to risk their lives in this dirty forest. Because sooner or later, you'll have to realize you're much more capable than you think. As a fighter, you're one of the strongest and agile warriors on the battlefield. In school, you're much more clever than you let on, even if you don't see that. As your teacher and friend, I want you to have more confidence in your abilities. Aw, that's so sweet. Also, these bandits are known for stealing beautiful women, so... Hey boys, I found some fresh meat! Wait, what? Hey!
Well. Look who decided to go for a stroll in the woods, all alone.
Oh, I'll get you for this, Professor.